created a modification from my other video that I showed that you could do pulling on the rebozo like a tug of war when a mom's in labor. So I want to talk about that a little bit more and then show you the modification I created while working with one of my clients. First, let's talk about the idea behind when you're having that tug of war with that client. Let's go to the yoga thought of cat and cow. So if you get in that position and do the yoga where you're doing the cat and then you're doing the cow, you can see how the changes in the body are created with the cat arching the back, changing that pelvis coming forward, and the cow dropping. And so when I watch a woman in labor who's pushing and standing, she is not doing a cat position, she's doing a cow. And so that means if she was in from a side view, if she was doing a cat position, she'd be squatting and hunched over in this manner. And instead I see them doing this, where they're doing kind of that arch back, more of that, what they call a cow. And it's even not quite a drop belly, it's more of like a straight elongation of the body to help things to be in better alignment. When I'm watching women deliver in the hospital, many times they're putting them in stirrups on the bed, having them grab their knees or their thighs, and they're having them do more of that cat position where they're arching over, holding their breath, going this way, using a lot of upper body strength when really all this focus needs to be here in this lower pelvis. And so if she's allowed to get more of that elongated body shape, and I'll show you from the side, then she'll have more effective pushing. So what the hospital's showing is more this, where she's curled around herself, she's pulling this way, pulling her knees back. That's not as effective as the mom who's allowed to kind of sit up straight and straighten her body in and really hone in to these lower ab muscles instead of using all that's on top. And we've had, those women have burst blood vessels in their eyes, etc., because they're putting all this focus right through here, sore in the arm. It doesn't help to pull in the arms to change here what's happening in the pelvis, but allowing that mom to get in more of an upright position as if she was standing and squatting, but in the bed, and to be able to straighten herself up and to be able to use these abdominal muscles. When we're curled over, you're just not going to get the access that you need to work in these lower abdominals and in the pelvic floor. So that's where we've created the tug of war with the rebozo. It's allowing her to pull. Remember, if she pulls up high, she's using the muscles up here. If she pulls down low, she's going to use these lower abs, which is what she wants to use for when she's pushing baby out. So I have a video here. I want to show you a couple different clips or pictures of a mother that I worked with that was tired. She was laboring naturally and she decided to get into the bed, and the doctor had her in stirrups, and I was trying to figure out how to create this tug of war with her without getting in the ways of the doctor or anybody else. So I took the stirrups and my rebozo, and I wrapped my rebozo through the little handle on the stirrups and gave them back to the mother so that then she could pull, and she wasn't pulling up high near her chest, she was actually pulling really low. And she found that very effective. She could rest and lay on the bed because she was tired, but then during the pushing part, she could grab this rebozo. It was looped through part of the stirrup, so it wasn't in anybody's way. I wasn't having to hold it, and she was able to pull against that static part of the stirrup and be able to pull as hard as she wanted. And it also kept her pull ability really low, really close to her hips, so that her pushing was a lot more effective. So next time, if you have a client that is in the hospital bed and pushing, whether with an epidural or pushing naturally, think of how you can use the components of the bed to create that ability for her to tug of war. And so that she is using that staticness of the bed instead of your body to wear out, but she could get that pull ability so that she can push with her lower abs and not be in the way of the care providers because you're not on the end of that rebozo. So just another way to use this rebozo and to use the things around you while you're working with a mom in labor.